Well, hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. I'm back. I got an interesting video for you today. I want to talk about the Frankford Arsenal Rotary Tumbler Lite. Wet tumbling is one of the best ways that I've found to clean my brass. I have the larger version of the Rotary Tumbler by Frankford Arsenal. It's outstanding. It's got the caps on both ends. They're very large rings. There's big rubber seals there. And then when you get your brass in there and you put your hot soapy water in there, when you're done tumbling, you can put this thing on right here. Then you put this back on and it gives you the ability to dump out that dirty water. So I was so excited about how well that performed that I picked up this one so I could do smaller batches of brass. So let's take a look here. It says that it's geared driven. It's got a geared drivetrain. It's a simple on or off operation. So you just turn the thing on or off. And you can do 300 pieces of 223 in a single batch. I think this larger one, don't quote me, but I think it said you could do 1,000 or something like that. So let's go ahead and open this up. I'm very excited about this. I think this is going to be fantastic. I paid about $100 for this, and I think that it's going to be money well spent. So here's a look at the care and user instructions. Feel free to pause your screen if there's anything there that you want to hang on to. So very nice unit. So let's continue seeing what else is in the package here. So there's the drum itself. Very cool. A little bit of cardboard in there. And then the last thing that I see is the actual motorized unit itself. So it appears to me that the drum will sit like this, and then you turn it on and off. So let's take a look at this cap here and see what the cap looks like. You've got this going on right here, which is cool. You've got your plastic, clear plastic thing. Is that the same size as the other one? Yep, sure is. So it uses the same size, so that's cool. So does that mean that when I'm finished, I can use this to drain it? Looks like I can. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about this. This is going to be good. I like this thing that it's a quick release kind of thing. And I like the fact that this drum only has one side that's going to be threaded. I think that's super cool. Very cool. One thing I'm noticing right off the bat is on the inside of this, it's not coated with the rubber like the previous version was. You see that black rubber in there. They say that that black rubber helped reduce the sound, helped make it a lot quieter. So does this fit on here? Sure does. So this is going to be pretty fantastic. So let's go ahead and head on over to the sink and we'll get this thing tumbling and we'll see how good of a job it does. I'm excited. Okay, let's take a closer look at this unit. So if you look at these wheels right here, these ones spin freely. This one here. So that means this side with the arrows, this is the side that's motorized. You can hear those gears. So that's what it looks like. There's a fan on the bottom. And then of course there's a label if you want to pause and read that label. It's got a nice cord attached to it. Looks like a pretty solid unit. I'll go ahead and get this bad boy plugged in. See what it sounds like. There we go, that's what it sounds like. So today I went out and I got some brass. There's a mixture of 45 ACP, there's some 9mm in there, there's some 223. And take a look at these guys. So notice the color, they're like black. I picked those up on purpose because they have really terrible color. They've been sitting out there a long time. It was really cold and windy today. So it's the perfect time to go brass hunting because people don't want to go shooting when it's cold and windy. So I have the range to myself. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open this bad boy up. I got this off of the other one because I don't want to scratch up that brand new one. So I'm going to take this brass and I'm going to just dump it in this container, dirt and all, dirt and everything, sand and all. And I'll explain why here in a minute. Oh, look at that. That looks like a perfect batch. It's about halfway full. I dropped one right here. So there you have it. You can see that this thing is about half full. It's about right there. So I'm going to take some hot water and I'm going to put a couple squirts of dish soap in there, along with some hot water from the sink. And I'm going to put water up to about where this area is here. Don't want to fill it up all the way. But I'm so excited about this. I've been wanting this thing for a while. The bigger one works fantastic. And I can let that thing run for hours and it doesn't hurt anything. So let's tighten that down a little bit. Okay, we'll clean this drum up. Make sure that there's no water on it. Make sure that this thing is nice and tight. Set that on the motorized unit. And let's turn this on. Let's get this brass tumbling. Okay, that has been on there for, I would say, about 2 hours. So let's go ahead and take a look and see how that brass looks. So we'll take it off. I've got a bucket here. I'm going to pour the water in this bucket so you can see what it looks like. Now, I was reading the owner's manual while I was letting this thing go, and it says not to do it on a tabletop like I did here. They say that this thing, the best place that you could put it is on a concrete floor. Because I guess they say that this thing will walk on you, and they're afraid that it'll walk out, and they don't want that to happen. Look at that. That is like black. You might be wondering why I left this in there. Because I'm going to put a little water in it. And I'll shake it a little bit and then I'll pour it out again. But wow. Okay, let's try it again. Woo, that's nasty. So I'll do it again. I just repeat this process until I see the water coming out clean. Probably good. We'll go ahead and clean off this piece here while I'm here. Make sure everything's nice and cleaned up. But gosh, let's do it one more time for good measure. Wow, that brass was Dirty, dirty, dirty. And it's not fully clean. I mean, I could run it a little bit longer. You got to remember the color of the brass. Some of them were like black. Okay. So that's fairly clean. So now let's take this over and dump the brass out and look at it. That is nasty. That's the water that came out of that brass. That is crazy nasty. Dirty, dirty, dirty water. Look at that. That is just dirty. So you can see I have a towel here. I'll just take this off and I'll pour these bad boys out. Wow, those are very clean for only 2 hours. Wow, that's pretty good. This piece is smashed here. This 223 is smashed up. Wow, I'm very impressed. That thing did a good job. So let me pull these corners together and dry these a little bit, and I'll give you a better shot of them. So drying of the brass obviously is important. I like to get the moisture off more than anything. Sometimes I'll put the oven on the lowest temperature and I'll put them in there and dry them, but I always try to make sure that they're dry on the outside first, because I don't want to put them in the oven and then have them develop water spots. Look at that 38 special there. That one's funny. This one was sitting inside of a 45, so it only cleaned half of it, but wow, that's pretty crazy. Some of these are really clean. That is just really clean. This thing definitely an A+ in my book. It was a lot louder than the previous version, but fantastic job. So here you have a 223 stuck in a 40, and look at that. When I pull it out of the 40 and I rub that on my hand, look at that. That's the color of the 223 before we cleaned it. It's pretty crazy. This thing did a fantastic job. I'm very, very happy with the results. This brass is very clean. I mean, and if you want to decap and things like that before you clean your brass, that would be a good choice for you. As you can see, I didn't use any stainless steel media at all. That's why I left the sand in it, because the sand, the dirt, it's an abrasive and it does the job that the media does. And you don't have to worry about separating it when you're finished. You just pour all that out into that bucket. I love this this quick release here, this handle type deal. This works really good. So we have a little bit of 9mm here. These were in there about the same amount of time, about 2 hours. And these were really dirty 9mm when I put them in. So some of them are still off colored a little bit. There's a 308. There's a 300 Win Mag. There's another 300 Win Mag. But yeah, that brass looks good. There's a 38 that got snuck in there. And that looks like a 40 that got stuck in there. But it did a fantastic job with this brass. So again, I always try to dry the outside of it so that afterwards I can put it in the oven on a very low temperature, the lowest temperature that my oven will go. But I want to dry the outside of them first, because if I put them on the cookie sheet and there's water on the outside of the brass, it'll create water spots as they dry. So I always try to dry them to the best of my ability. But this brass looks fantastic. Of course, I didn't use any media and still got a really nice result with no media. So if I use stainless steel media and run it a little longer, maybe 3 hours, I'd have a fantastic result. But I'm pleased with what I'm seeing right now. I mean, you look at that 308, that looks like a brand new piece of brass right there. So very impressed with this. And then once again, there's the gunk that came out of it. That is nasty. Ooh, that is nasty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. And then looking on the side of the cup, you can see it's all caked in there. All the dirt and grime and everything. And that's just using regular household dish soap. And that's pretty nasty. Pretty dirty. Very dirty water. Ugh. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to leave comments down below. Like this video. Share this video. And until next time, have a beautiful day. We'll see you then. Bye for now.